I think you touched on it there. They were knackered. Probably not straight away because your adrenaline's at such a high level. I can imagine some of them didn't sleep too well on the Tuesday night. Sounds strange to say after such a big effort. But the next day and then obviously Wednesday night and today, it's really hit them hard. But they can be proud of their effort. But they've also got to understand that that's gone. As delighted as we were to get something out of the game for such a long period when 9 men, it's always about what's next in football. And that is obviously Grimsby. So somehow they've got to get that fatigue and that whatever's been in their bodies or minds from Tuesday night out of themselves and prepare themselves for this weekend. And we'll get a better idea where they're at physically and mentally tomorrow morning.
Grimsby, of course, at the bottom of the table. In the fight of their lives, I think results in midweek sort of has cut off the bottom three, but they're going to be really up for this, knowing the fight they've got ahead of them.
Yeah, and I've touched upon it in a previous interview. New managers coming in and got some players and he trusts. A big squad and some talent within that squad as well. So we kind of know what to expect in terms of Grimsby. Like you touched on it there, they'll be fighting for their lives, scrapping for everything. We'll need something to hold on to in terms of their confidence. But we're at home and we want to take the game to them. Like I say, I hope we've got the energy levels to be able to do that and to maintain it for 90 minutes as well. But it's just another opportunity. But it feels like a bigger opportunity on the back of all the effort we put in on Tuesday night. But at that point on Tuesday, we'll only count for something if we back it up with a result this weekend.
And they're an awkward team to play when they come to the park, aren't they? 3-1 last season. And at the end of 2018 or 2019, I think it was that 2-1 win where it just wasn't going in, was it?
Well, both of those games we actually performed pretty well. Sounds strange because we got beaten both of the games. I just remember the keeper playing so well 2 years ago, and those not really taking our chances have been hit on counter attack last season. So sometimes that can happen. It's a different personnel on our front, but also in relation to Grimsby, different manager as well, and hopefully a different outcome. But generally, you get what you deserve in terms of performances. On those two occasions, we didn't get the points we felt our performance warranted. Certainly in terms of the amount of chances created. But you certainly take a performance similar to that this weekend because that's front foot attacking football, getting the ball in good areas and asking questions of the opposition backline and goalkeeper. But then it's all about scoring goals, and sometimes it only takes one. And as the way the lads have been feeling the last couple of days and the effort they put in on Tuesday, sometimes you take a scrappy 1-0 and sacrifice some of the flowing attacking football you've seen previously on in the season this weekend. But either way, we want a performance and we want a result.
This is a game that perhaps people will look at and they expect us to win. Does that perhaps make it harder with the pressure of that?
We can't control that. I'm not sure we're clear favourites when you've played so long with 9 men and we've lost another 2 players through suspension and the injuries we've got. It's a pretty fair game from what I can see in terms of the way the two teams are matched up. And there's never big margins in this league. It never turns out like that. It's all about who performs well and takes the chances on the day. They're bottom of the league. They're bottom of the league for a reason. But like I say, a new manager's come in and got them playing in a different way. And they're actually unlucky not to get anything out of the Newport game, which is their most recent game. But we're unbeaten in 3. We've got a bit of confidence within the group. And like I say, I've got to input a bit of energy in certain areas that this pitch this weekend. And anyone who wasn't part of that huge effort on Tuesday, I've got to bring a freshness to the team. And the ones who were part of Tuesday, I've just got to get himself through it and get himself through it while still performing.
We touched on it slightly on Tuesday night, but this weekend or perhaps the next few games is a huge opportunity for Ben Seymour and the likes of Alex Fisher.
Look, Ryan's definitely out for 3 games in terms of suspension. And we've got to be sensible in terms of how we start the game and how we finish the game. That's something we're looking at with so many games in quick succession. Almost being able to affect the game from the bench is a big thing. But it's also who complements the other players on that football pitch. One of our success or reasons for success so far this season has been Ryan leading the line and the smaller, more dynamic players of MJ, Joe Randall, Randall Williams and Robbie Wilmot in recent weeks playing off the back of that. Can Ben do that? That's a question mark. We've got to ask Ben and Alex Fisher as well. So, look, there's 3 games in quick succession, and there's a lot of more opportunities to come. And they can't feel it's just these next 3 games which will determine their success or how they impact the season. They'll have a big impact on the remaining 18 and 19 games. But straight away Saturday and straight away is an opportunity for 1 out of 2.
On the injuries front, you mentioned Johnny Maxted with a broken finger. Is there any time frame on how long he might be out?
No, look, it's his little finger and it's the end joint. It's quite a nasty one, really, where the joint dislocated and the finger moved or the bone moved and split his finger a little bit. didn't come through the skin, so it wasn't a compound fracture as such, but he's had it glued or stuck back together, and it's in a little cast around his little finger. He's going to get it re-x-rayed in 2 weeks. A bit of a freak one, really, because just saving a ball hit on the end of the fingers and damaged his fingers, unfortunately. He'll get it reassessed in 2 weeks, where he'll get re-x-rayed. It's just a shame for Johnny. He's had a few unlucky injuries, the knee dislocation and the side strain. So it's a real shame for Johnny, but it's another experienced body who we're without at the moment. And to have a 15-year-old keeper on the bench is a great reflection on the academy. And he actually got some game time on Wednesday against the young Bournemouth team and played really well.
And you mentioned Harry Lee there. I mean, just being around the first team environment at that age, it's just going to put him in a great place going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, I can guarantee you there's no 15-year-olds getting the experience he's getting training with us on a daily basis. And you could see that in an under-23s game on Wednesday. He didn't look like a 15-year-old. Because he trains with the men every day on the men's team and the first team. It's incredible to see how he's developed, and it's been great to see him within the group and how the group have responded to such a young kid training with us. But then to get the experience for travelling away from home and being away from your parents for nights at a time, but seeing games of football as well. I tried to make that point on Tuesday, that even the young lads who didn't get on Tuesday will have learned something about League Two football, the ups and downs and the way a game can change, and the heart and desire that the lads showed. But he's consistently learning, and he's going to be a top keeper.
And finally, then Rory McArdle, Lewis Page, and we've obviously got Sam Stubbs and Randell Williams longer term. What's the update on those four?
Well, we hope to have Lewis Page and Rory McArdle involved this weekend. It might be too soon to throw them straight back in, but full credit to both of them. They've got over those different injuries in a relatively short period of time, and to have them involved and to bulk up the squad will be absolutely key. Like I say, remains to be seen whether we start the game with these players or finish the game with these players. But to have them close to it, it's two senior figures and two players of real quality as well. And then they can influence and affect other people around them. Randell Williams is walking pain-free. He's on the Alter G, relatively pain-free. He's not outside as yet, but we're still not quite at the 6 to 8 week mark where the bone is fully healed. The moment we get to that point and he's out there with his boots on, I don't think it'll be too long before we see Randell Williams training and then playing again. And then in terms of Sam Stubbs, he had his injection yesterday. So just a little injection to calm that knee down. And as soon as that settles down in the next few days, I expect to see him out there training with the group. So the couple of suspensions on top of the injuries obviously isn't ideal, but body's coming back. I think it's going to be like that for every interview we do from now until the end of the season, where you probably gain a couple of players, lose a couple of players. We're probably never going to have a fully fit squad available from now until the end of the season, but that goes throughout the board and not only ourselves. And like I say, it's all about putting energy and freshness on the pitch this weekend.